Yeah, but Apostle James, why big?
Mommy, I'm too impatient, man. Every morning, customer care people now won't pick up my call.
What exactly you want to do?
I just want to know how to unblock my Orange Money account. That's all. My piggy, you know how many thousands of subscribers that Orange customer care can attend to every day? That you hear you suffering yourself?
Well, that's you talking about. My piggy, that all that problem Orange Money local and created a hotline or special hotline for you and myself.
Tell me more.
Thank you. Now, to reset your PIN and to unblock your Orange Money account, all you need to do that 555. Bam, that one part your solution is right in your own hand. Now, for the agent, all they need to do, they will just that 333. What? As soon as they call my people within no time, hello, all of your problems will be solved.
So you say far, only for customer.
Instant connection.
Then 333, only for the agent.
Instant connection, my begin.
I'm calling it Nana.
It's indeed great to be back here this morning. Today is Tuesday and it's the 9th of March 2020. And yesterday was National Women's Day. That's International Women's Day. And women across the world celebrated that day. That day was well celebrated all over Liberia in the 15th political subdivision of our country. I want to say congratulations to all of our mothers, our sisters, our grandmothers for the love they have proven to us and the love they have proven to Liberia. Great to be back here this morning, Tuesday morning. My name is Amos Thomas Momo, and not to hold you long because we have, I think you've been waiting so long, but this morning promises to be very much fascinating. We have the head of the Superintendent Council of Liberia and the Superintendent of Bassa County as our guest this morning, the Honorable Janjay Baikeh. There are scores of issues we will be talking about this morning. We will be talking Bassa County in general. We'll come down and talk about other trending political issues in the country, most especially the national one on the national scene. The Honorable will be giving his own take on some of those issues as we go about talking this morning. Not to hold you long, Honorable Baikeh, we want to say good morning and thanks for accepting our invite. And this is your debut appearance here at KMTV.
Thank you so much. I appreciate the invite, and I think we are on an obligation whenever the media calls us to clarify or provide some information. I think we need to show up and then to provide the necessary information as deemed necessary. But I think I want to appreciate you again for inviting the Superintendent of Bassa County to your platform to discuss some developmental issue in Bassa County, to discuss some national issues and discuss the National Superintendent Council of Liberia, of which I'm chairing. And I want to appreciate the President of the Republic of Liberia for giving me an opportunity again to serve. And I want to appreciate the National Superintendent Council and its members for giving me an opportunity either to serve, because to see 15 counties and see superintendents to elect you to say serve and serve our chairperson, I think it comes with a huge responsibility. So based upon that, I want to appreciate them and appreciate the government of Liberia, and most especially to our mothers, sisters, loved ones, and women who celebrated International Women's Day. I want to say congratulations to you all. You people are very precious to us. And I think we can make progress as we work together.
How's life going on?
Well, life is good. You know, from activism, political activism, and coming to governing structures, I think, yeah, it's good. And the experience are there. I think we are up to the task and prepared to serve in any capacity in this country. But I think we must appreciate the President for giving young people an opportunity to serve.
How is Bassa County?
Well, Bassa County is good, is kind, and you know, Bassa County is the home of hospitality.
Sure.
And with that, we try to roll our sleeves. We try to work in the interest of the people. We try to making sure that we bring development to the doorsteps of the people. You may be aware, you know, Bassa County is one of the hub, and the President of the Republic of Liberia and the government is concentrating on building the special economic zone there. We have the port that will be dragged to international standard in a short period of time. And we'll have other companies moving in. Metal Steel is there. We'll have equatorial palm oil. we have the Liberia agriculture companies, we have other logging companies as well. And we still try to fetch out there. In fact, I just came from meeting the managing director of the National Port Authority, Honorable Bill Tuawe. He's supposed to be on a trip along with me to Ghana to see some investors that are supposed to come and do some tank farm in Bassa as well. So Bassa is relatively calm, and we are making some progress in our developmental activities.
You took over as superintendent of the county. How is it going with you and the leadership?
Well, thank God. Like I said before, thank God and thank to President Weah for giving me an opportunity. I took over in 2018 after the induction ceremony, and before the induction ceremony, I was confirmed by the Liberian Senate with overwhelming support with all of my colleagues, and my two assistant superintendents for development and fiscal affairs were also confirmed. The county inspector were confirmed. Most of the local government structures were confirmed as well. So we are working together with our legislative caucus headed by Honorable Thomas Goshua to making sure that we work in peace and harmony, bring people together. Yes, all of us may not come from the same political divide, but the fact that we've been called to serve our people, we should put politics aside and look at the general goal of the people. So based upon that, yes, we're serving and we're working along together. Mind you, there are some minor contradictions, but those minor contradictions cannot drive us away from working together. We are still working together, so we are going to make sure everything is possible for the benefit of the Bassa people.
So as you took over as superintendent of the county, what are some of your success stories?
Well, the first thing when I took over in 2018, I met most of the county equipment down. At that time, we were purchased from County Social Development Fund. We have the low bed, we have the dump truck, we have the front end loader, we have the motor grader, we have the bulldozer. Those 5 equipments were purchased from Social Development Fund. Close to 1 million plus were used before we took over. The machines being done for over 4 or 5 years. So when I took over in 2018, I saw it as a challenge. Looking at money placed in these items, and it was purchased from the people's money, looking at it going down the drain, I thought it was not prudent to do. So based upon that, when I look at the turnover, my predecessors of Honorable Levi Dima were already trying to enter into a leasing agreement with a businessman called Vanin Kaba. So and I thought it was good because he's going to be leasing the the dump truck and the low bed, and the repair, the funds from that were going to go towards the repair of the 3 yellow machines. So based upon that, I enter into that agreement as well with the consent of the caucus members. And today, all of the machines are being repaired. Only the low bed is still having some problem in repairing that, but I think we're getting there. Again, we took over. The First Lady of the Republic of Liberia visited Bassa, but before that, we met a challenge on the Bijo Town, Riverside, and the Lac Highway. That road was never possible for people to pass. It was not even pliable. Many times, you have more than 300, 400 cars stuck in the mud. So I took it upon myself with my assistant superintendent for development and my co-workers to move in. We talked to Equatorial Palm Oil, which is EPO. We talked to LAC, the agricultural company, Liberia Agriculture Company, and some of the local logging companies as well. So we start moving in. We ask for trucks. We ask for the machines. We want to put the border racks in there today. As I speak to you right now, it's pliable. Any rainy season come, it cannot stay embarrassed. We work on that successfully today. We can move together freely. Even the Lac highway as well is being worked on every dry time. So they're doing everything possible. The next thing we did was to work along with the First Lady. The first visit of the First Lady to Bassa, I took her to the old folks' home when she saw the people in a deplorable condition to where they live. And she said to me, Janjay, how can I get a land? I want to develop modern old folks home for the old people in Grand Bassa County. Right away, I called my leadership together when we located a 1 acre land around the Unya Umbel, going to the new Buchanan area, and we deeded the property, legitimized it, and the First Lady came, we presented it to her, we did a symbolic groundbreaking. As I speak to you right now, the old folks home is up to date. When the president on his tour, when he entered Grand Bassa County, he will be able to dedicate that old folks home. It's a modern old folks home, 36-bedroom old folks home. All of the rooms are self-contained. In the old folks home, you have clinic to cater to them. Yes. In the old folks home, you have a recreation center, you have the dinner hall for them, you have everything that they need. You have the warehouse, We have everything in it. So as I speak to you, in nearing completion right now. So everything is on course, and it was one of our success stories. In the process of that, we were able to lobby with Honorable Matthew Joe and the central government. When the budget went before the national legislature, we talked with the public works minister, and the president was able to ask the former public works minister to do the fairground rule. Mind you, fairground is centrally located at the home of the president. Whenever the president goes, he or she, that's where they're supposed to lodge. That rule since creation had never been paid for quota. So we took over on Matthew Joe and his colleague, plus myself as county administration, all of the senators. But the credit may go to Honorable Joe because in his campaign message, he promised that. So he lobbied. And as a chairman of the Public Works Committee, we all rally around him today. That road is nearing completion. And I sure the president will dedicate that road as well. And we didn't stop there. We've been working with partners. We work with FDA. The FDA is regional sub-office, first of its kind in the history of Liberia since the foundation and the establishment of the Forestry Development Authority. They now have sub-offices in all of the county, more than last sub-office. We work along with C.M.A. Doyen today, the Director General of the Forestry Development Authority. As I speak to you, the bidding is completed already. We're waiting for the president to come. And when the president comes to Bassa, he will be able to dedicate that as well. So these are other things we're doing. Yeah, there are some challenges. And I think with those challenges, we try to work on. I have not come to even projects that we went to county setting for that were resoluted. In fact, let me just keep the ball rolling since we're on the success story. In 2019, we went to county setting, and there was resolution. And when the resolution was passed, in fact, county setting is the higher decision-making body in our county. Meaning that delegates from all districts, the 5 electoral districts, the 9 administrative districts, will come to the county setting, and then they will present their projects to us for implementation. So based upon that, we went to the 2019 county setting. After that county setting, we just received, at that time, we received $350,000 from central government, including what Metro State normally give the county every year. So based upon that, we went with this pushing to start those projects. Among those projects was the Zoragatan Bridge, and then the Zoragatan Bridge right now, as I speak to you, around 65 to 70% completion. So we left from there. We are pushing money for the construction of youth center in electoral district 5. And in fact, it's 95% completed, and the president will be dedicating that on his tour to Bassa. We came to electoral district 3, the Buchanan district. They requested that we do or we buy a mini truck for them. So we're in the resolution. So we did all the procurement, the PPCC, everything I'm telling you about. We follow all of the PPCC Act. Yes, and then we follow all of the public financial management laws of Liberia, because these are laws that guard you as a head of public institution, how you spend people's money so it cannot be wasted.
I want you to focus on the just ended 11. I think that was the 11th county sitting.
Yeah, I come in that because when we went to the 10th county sitting, money we got was not enough. So the 11th county sitting went towards the ongoing project to complete them and then start a new project. So I want to tell you about those projects that we started before we went to the extraordinary 11th county sitting. So in the process of that, we bought the truck, the mini dump truck for the Buchanan City. It was what they requested for. We went to Harlemville. Harlemville requested for 2 tricycles to get the trash, the deck, the garbage out of the streets of Harlemville. We purchased that. We went to Niplin. Niplin requested that we buy 2 chainsaws for them because we want to get involved with agriculture activity. We purchased that for them. And then we moved to Electoral District 1. Electoral District 1, they requested that we do the commissioner resident in Jacob Latte Town. That is bordering around Margibi. But normally, if you go in Jacob Latte Town, you have to pass through Division 20 now, cross the Farmington River to get there. So we started that project. And we came back to Electoral District 2. They requested that we do a commissioner resident again as well, because District 2, most of the districts are divided into 2 or 3 parts because of administrative purposes and development. So we went to number 2B, is where we constructed, or we started the construction. So when we went to the extraordinary county setting, the 11th county setting, that was the time we received the $1,023,000 from ArcelorMittal. That money cannot be expended to do anything until you go to county setting, and where county setting will decide to finish the ongoing project and then to also start up a new project. So in the process of that, we allotted the balance monies to all of these projects that I just named to you, and in fact, they're nearing completion. The next place we did now was, like currently right now, we just broke ground for 2 projects that have already started, in electoral district 1. I'm going to start with you with district 1, the progress in district 1. We broke ground in Orange Grove district for the construction of the market. In fact, it was what the resolution says, so based upon that, we're going to implement that. We broke ground for it. And as I speak to you now, the work is ongoing right now. In the same electoral district 1, we came to compound number 1. That is the administrative seat of that district. We came to compound number 1. The resolution says that the delegates said that they want us to renovate and do an expansion on the administrative building so that it can help to incorporate other local leaders to have offices there as well. So in fact, it was built some 70 years ago. So they want us to build it, rebuild it, and modernize it. So in fact, that will break ground. In fact, the work is ongoing as I speak to you. So we come directly to electoral district number 2. There were 2 projects in the 2020 resolutions that it was resoluted that would do. Number 1 is the Jibla Administrative District Market, the new relocation, because where the market was, the population growth has already affected the place the market is, so they wanted to do the relocation of that market. So based upon that, we broke ground for the market last weekend, and the construction have started. In electoral district 2, we're supposed to do a baited bridge. That was what the resolution carried. But when we wrote public works said that there's no baited bridges right now in the country. So they asked us and they advised us that we do concrete bridge. So they have done all of the BOQ, the bill and quantity, everything. They have done all bill of quantity, everything. They have done all the ascended, and that will have a right now the caucus to inform them that, look, the public was that there is no possibility of us doing a baited bridge. So they asked us to do a modern concrete bridge that will last for more than 70 to 80 years. So based upon that, probably have advised on it already. So we're going to do a communication now to the caucus and 8 members to make sure that the next county sitting, in fact, they have allotted the first 60,000. So we're going to read them before we conduct the bid and other things so that we can start that project. So we have not done the groundbreaking yet. Possibly, the President of the Republic of Liberia will do the groundbreaking when he go on a tour to that part of the district. So electoral district 3 is no project, but electoral district 3 accompanies other districts as well because of electoral boundary. So based upon that, Nikri is closer to an electoral district. The certain part of Nikri is in electoral district 3 and electoral district 2. So they are also benefiting an agricultural project that is around $45,000. Because the county deemed it necessary to send the government, the President of the Republic of Liberia, thinking into the green revolution of agriculture. We ourselves, as Bassa citizens, need to grow what we eat. So based upon that, we went to the county sitting, although the money was not much, but we allotted the first $14,000. So that $14,000 will go to what the agriculture people to start the project, do the clearing, and start planting what the community decide. I think it will be cassava and other crops as well. So in the same vein, that's how we started that. So we moved to electoral district number 4. Electoral district number 4, there are many projects that is ongoing. First, one of our sister organizations that is in the United States of America, the Janjay Baikeh Association in Florida, they started a project, but they have some financial difficulties. So in a county sitting, delegate decided that we should put some money in to complete that identical health center that they were building in the zone town. So based upon that, it was resoluted that we give them $25,000. So we gave them the $25,000 already. So they have started that work. In fact, it will be completed. In the same electoral district number 4, on Robinson Wooded district, was able to resolute close to $30,000 to purchase of furniture and other materials for the health center that was built in collaboration with government of Liberia and then the Methodist family, United Methodist family. It's a very, very good health center. In fact, we're thinking about making that health center to be like how the government hospital is so that it can take the burden away from government hospital. So we're having that conversation right now with the Ministry of Health Family to look at the suitable way so we can get some equipment so that some operation can be conducted there. You cannot bring everybody to Buchanan because even sometimes it will cause death, untimely death. So we want to take the burden away from that hospital. So based upon that, in fact, we have done the procurement for that. The PMC process we're here to, the Public Financial Management Law we're here to. We did all the bill evaluation. The company that won the bill, we have awarded that to them as well. So in fact, they have started to purchase everything. In the same resolution, at the same electoral district number 4, it was also resoluted that we do a clinic. In, electoral district 4 is big. So they got A, B, C. Okay. So in the B, in the C, we're supposed to do a clinic, a modern clinic, with a housing facility for nurses that will be there. So we have done that groundbreaking. In fact, I speak to you, the work is ongoing right now, and that is done in Basigia town. That's a notable town, a known town. In the same electoral district number 4, we moved to Gadwa town. There was a public school that is around Jionha. So because of the population and what the school is located, the resolution carried that we expand it to, we do that an extension that will carry to high school. So that means we'll be the only high school in that vicinity, in that identical area. Because that place I'm telling you about, a bordering St. John, which is Bon County, is also bordering Nima County. So based upon that, people from that identical vicinity will be trooping their way through to go to school at that high school when completed. In fact, I speak to that project have started. So in the same electoral district, number 4, the completion of the Zoyagatan Bridge is on right now because we have paid the balance money to the contractor, and they are working day and night to making sure that we dedicate that bridge upon the president arrival. Then we'll move to electoral district 5, the Cocochias district. In electoral district 5, in fact, the youth center is nearing completion right now as I speak to you. And then we broke ground for 2 projects. One is a health center too as well, that will inculcate the doctor resident, nurses resident, doctor resident, because we find it difficult across the country. You build health center and you expect for medical people from different countries to be assigned to those places, but you don't have a lodging place for them. So Grand Bassa County as a county taking into consideration the constraint faced with other health practitioners or maybe health worker. So we always attach a place that they will stay so they can cater to our people, the health need of our people. So we broke ground for that. In fact, the construction is on already. That place is in Cocochias town. Anyone who know Bassa and electoral district, they will know where I'm talking about. So based upon that, we came back on the road. Just yesterday, we just broke the ground for the construction of a commissioner residence to Nyombenstown. In fact, the project has started, but we did the groundbreaking just yesterday because we tried to avoid a rainy season to enter into most of the project period. So based upon that, these are things. Now, in the same resolution, there were other things that were resoluted to do some intervention. We have local government. We don't even have a BASACO. Of course, as a superintendent, there was just recent time the president thought it was now to get a vehicle for superintendent. But at that extraordinary county sitting, Dedicate decided that, look, we should buy motorbike for local government officials in the various districts, the commissioner, the statutory district superintendents, and county inspectors. Even the police, the joint security. So based upon that, we procured 41 motorbike from the resolution. Out of our statutory district superintendents now, those that have been confirmed, those that have been working, they got a motorbike, we put the county code on it, and we gave them the restriction that it must be used directly for government and the county job, and we are distributed to them. With this, we gave 6 motorbike to joint security, meaning the police, the DEA, the immigration, and just name them. We gave them 6 additional motorbike to enable them to fight crime in our county. Because if Bassa is becoming a hub, we have to do everything possible to make that place safe and calm. So based upon that, the county thought it was to purchase these motorbikes to enhance the working of the security apparatus. At the same police station, the central police station in Buchanan City, located on the fairground, we also did an intervention to do solar panel energy that will keep energy there, store energy there. So we intervene in that direction as well. Then we move to the Grand Bassa Community College. They wanted a bus. We done the bus issue for them. We give them the money already. Have procured that bus. It should be in the county out of this week according to what the president told me about it. And we did another intervention because electricity is a problem. So what we did was we did another intervention in restoring solar energy there for them. So now as I speak to you, that work is ongoing right now, and we are doing everything possible to making sure that what we receive for social development fund touch the lives of the people. Go on the day that you just get social development funds, so now you don't make any impact. So this time, the president, in fact, since 2013 to 2014, it was last year, Grand Bassa County got a huge portion of social development fund because of the economic situation from the Ebola crisis, where Metal Steel and other companies started to scale down. So we're not getting much. So as it stands now, when President George Weah took over, he made it a duty to making sure that, look, the money must go directly back to the people because it's intended for them to improve their lives. There are some places that national government will not do intervention, then we can do intervention. So based upon that, our social development fund is making serious headway in Bassa, and we can boast of that, we can appreciate the president for that. Now, in the same social development component, there is a 20% that ArcelorMittal will give the 3 counties, the affected communities. So that 20%, Bassa have gotten a share, which is in the $200,000. That money, the district themselves, the affected community will go to that district sitting, they decide that project and forward it to us as a superintendent and the PNC. As a matter of fact, I'm the approval chair for that. So when they do the resolution, they send it to us, then we implement it so that the company, those that are in the affected area can know exactly what the company is doing and how can they benefit too as well. So based upon that, they have done that resolution. They brought it to me already. In fact, we reviewed them. We have done 8 of those BOQ for those projects. By Wednesday, let's say by Thursday, I will sign everything and will forward it to Mitasi because Mitasi is the one we pay the money to the contractor upon receiving the contract, it will sign it with them. So basically,
lots of good things coming from Bassa County. It seems to be like the people are benefiting from what they are to benefit.
The fact that it is the people money, you must sit with them. In fact, so they decide what we do with the money.
Okay.
So based upon that, we must be able to make sure that this project be implemented within the timeline. Okay. So based upon that, this is where we are, and we are making significant.
What is your relationship with the county legislative caucus, precisely or specifically, Madam Honorable Yombli Kanga Lawrence?
Well, Senator Lawrence and I, we are very good friends. We are very good friends.
In the month of January, there were these protests and counter-protests with the two of you. There were this hula baloo. How is it now?
Where there are humans associated with each other, there will be variance of view. Okay. There will be allegation and counter-allegation. Okay. There will be minor contradiction. Sure. But these contradictions, like I told you from the onset of our conversation, it cannot drive us away from our developmental activities. Okay. Those things are past and gone. Senator Lauren and I, we are on good footing. We are discussing, we are having conversation on how we receive the president. We are having conversation on how we do projects that will benefit the lives of the people. We are having conversation on reconciliation. So the entire caucus membership, we are working together. Mind you, in election period time, you will see people going back to the political institution to give that support. Sure. I have no exception to that. I from the ruling establishment. Senator Lauren too from the Liberty Party. On Robinson, where they were contesting, he's the secretary for the caucus. He also was contesting. So there will be different issues at different level. Somebody feel they needed my support, but I could not betray my institution. So based upon that, those are issues that are ongoing, whether protest or no protest. Our focus is the developmental drive of our county, and we're going to focus on that path, and then we're going to distract us from there. So the relationship with we in the caucus, we interact, all the groundbreaking. Some of the senators will be there for the business schedule, others will not be there. Other lawmakers will be to their district. Some of them for the business schedule, they may not be there. So we'll go there, we'll do general representation for all of the projects so that it can be done at least in time frame.
Ahead of the president's visit to the county, what are preparations so far?
Well, the first thing, we have started to have community consultations and with community leaders. Of course, we have now received the itinerary of the president here and the date that he will go to Bassa. Just yesterday, the Minister of Internal Affairs calls me to tell him how we want the activity to be like. So I placed call to all of the lawmakers, informing them. They gave me all the itinerary. So I forwarded that to the ministry already, and they are sending it to the office of the president. So when the approved did come, they will do immense awareness. The people of Bassa want to see what Nima benefited from the president. Sure. The people of Bassa want to see the same thing that Grand Jida benefited from the president. The people of Bassa want to see the same thing that Grand Crew benefited. First of it, since I was born, I've been to Plebo. Okay. When I get on Facebook, I see the whole people is like out. You understand? We want to see the same thing. In fact, let me just let this out of the bed, the cat out of the bed. I just met with the Minister of State. A contractor will sign a contract with the Liberal Rural Energy that they will start doing our own street light in Buchanan City as well. So in fact, so maybe 2 weeks from now, they will start that process. So Bassa will be light out because Bassa is a home of hospitality and it becoming a hub. We want to make Bassa second to none. We want to make Bassa even more than Monrovia. We want to digress the people's attention on that side. So let people know that, look, we can't just have a Monrovia we depend on. You can do many things in Bassa. Right now, our service center is up to date. We provide a lot of services to our people. If you want birth certificate, you go to the service center, it will provide that to you. Okay. You understand? If you want your health certificate, you go to the service center, we'll provide that. You want your car, your vehicle registration, you want to do your business registration, we'll provide those services at the service center. Okay. So there are many things we do. In fact, we concentrate on working with national government. Look, we can't have the CAPN terminal problem over and over and over and again. So the county government is recommending to the National Port Authority find a suitable partner that will direct the port to international center so APN terminal can stop these problems, the exploitation, the overcharges, so that people's attention will be to the port of Buchanan because it's one of the bigger ports. It's one of the bigger ports in Liberia. So we are calling on the national government to work along with us to making sure that we find a possible investor that will come and drag that port up the international center so people can have their ship dumping there. We can have continual, in fact, send the National Port Authority is contemplating on building a dry inland port in Ganta. It can be a way to do a continual transport. Understand? By rail. So we think about different ways. How can we bring a lot of investors that will provide job opportunity for our people? It was at the same county sitting, we allotted money, almost $30,000 to pay our students fees that they owe at the very university. So there are a lot of things we do. In fact, one thing I didn't tell you, when we took over, there was a company operating in Basel, they called Kavala. Kavala succeeded BHP Billiton. So there another subsidiary company that came in, they called BCM. BCM succeeded Kavala. So we met them, we saw the MD that was with BHP Billiton and Kavala, that it said every year that they should pay $200,000 for scholarship to the county. But that money was not going to the county. The company was the one that managing that money. But when we took over, we couldn't see no beneficiary. So based upon that, I wrote my question to caucus. Can we meet with the company so that, look, we must have representation on how this fund will be implemented for our people. First thing, we ask them, say, look, you owe us some money, you are not paying. We need $200 to be deposited in an extra account that you will have access to and our people will have access to. So they asked us to form a committee. We formed the committee in acquiescence of the caucus, chair and the members of the caucus, and the committee worked along with us. So the first $200,000 I will pay in the account. Now as I speak to you, we got more than 600 and some more students that benefited from that money. So these are things that we're doing to make sure that people get piece of the cake. No matter how the situation is, if you get education, you get development, these are things that we're working on. In fact, we took over the government hospital, got that fire. We talked to the president of the Republic of Liberia through him, or Bill Tower, were able to go and do the renovation of the hospital. Today it's open to the public. So we formed the Health State Government Hospital Committee headed by Madam Mata Kanga. Now, in fact, we did a fundraising rally that Minister of State, Minister of Tour, most of them went to Basel. They contributed towards the reopening of that hospital. So there are a lot of things we do. In fact, they are playing on our way down to do. In fact, we have done all of the assessment and for all the feeder roads in Buchanan City to be paved with chipsin. There's a cheaper quota in Ghana they call chipsin. You have to make sure that everything is okay. So that is on our way.
There is this pressure grouping in Grand Bassa County that is planning the protest ahead of the president's arrival on grounds that your administration rented some of the county equipment to an individual called Vani Kaba.
Yeah.
And as we stand, those equipments have not been brought back to the county, and it is creating some serious tension or that the pressure grouping want to have this.
Let me say this to you. I just told you about the outcome of the equipment.
Sure.
Okay, I just received a test on the numbers of students that benefited. 927 students benefited. Okay. He is the Secretary General to the committee who just forwarded this to me. Okay. Now let's come back to that. It's untrue. Right. You can't in the country, you see the equipment. In fact, the front lawyer is doing work right now in the street of Buchanan. In fact, Senator Kapi even asked us to give him the bulldozer so he can go in the district to do some roads. Okay. The essence of these things is to make sure that they were repaired to be used for the county. So those that call themselves pressure group, they were in the county when these things were still down. They couldn't advocate for past leadership to repair them. But we will not be distracted. So as I speak to you, only one, like I told you, which is a low bear. The low bear here has a problem, the truck here has a problem. And they told the guys that are repairing it, Hassan, they told us that they sent for the pass in Ivory Coast, they passed the bro, it couldn't work on it, so they sent for another pass. So the motor grader is in county, the front loader is in county, the bulldozer is in county, the dumper is in county. So that person is speaking from an uninformed position, so they are not informed by the activity of the county.
The Honorable Superintendent, you are a young man, a very vibrant and energetic young man, serving as the head of the Superintendent Council of Liberia. How is it going on with you?
Well, as head of the Superintendent Council of Liberia, I work with my boss, who is the Minister of Internal Affairs, Rovani A. And I thank him for the support as well. He's been giving the leadership of the Superintendent Council. The co-chair for administration is from Mosorado, Madam Florence Brande, and the co-chair for operations from Sano County, who is Honorable Lee Nangwichi, and the Secretary General is also from Magiwi County, Honorable Jerry Vani, the Financial Secretary from Bapolu County as well. So the treasurer from Bomi County. So we decentralize the leadership for the benefit of the people. So we've been working tirelessly. We took over the government asset of fleet vehicle. There was no vehicle for superintendent. So we've been sacrificing, using our own vehicle, managed to take some loan and buy a car to do government work. We couldn't burden the president with the already slow pace of the economic situation in the country. So we couldn't say, Mr. President, there's a need that you buy a superintendent car. No. We were doing his work and making sure that the day he sees reason. So this time around, we met with the Minister of State. We gave our message. He and the Minister of Finance and the Minister of Internal Affairs were in that meeting. And they took the message back to the President, and the President agreed. In fact, 6 of our coolies have gotten a car and the other cars are on their way. What we did was, as leadership, when you're leading people, you don't lead for yourself.
You are getting yours?
No, I'm not getting mine.
Okay.
The reason I'm not getting mine is I got an accessible road.
Okay.
So look, our coolies are in Bapuru, our coolies are in Grand Crew, Grand Gide, Maryland, Sano, River G. These are people that are in urgent need of car because when the rainy season comes, the place is cut off, they can't be able to move around. So based upon that, we talked to the Minister of Internal Affairs that how they serve them their cars first. So 2 weeks from now, our cars will come. So those are things that we're working on as a council to making sure that the council work effectively and efficiently for the benefit of those that they're governing. So the council is doing pretty well. We are working as a team. We are making significant impact. We are making impact across the country to represent the office of the president. You know, every superintendent is chief executive officer of the country. So that means whenever the president is not there, you are managing the affairs of the country in consultation with your local leadership.
What is the council developmental focus in buttressing the effort of government?
What the council does is, for example, if we find there's a problem between the leadership of the caucus and other superintendents will move in to see how best we move in swiftly to solve some of these problems, because you don't have extra budget to do anything else. It's almost like it's a leadership that advocate on behalf of the superintendent and other county to get what is up. For example, if NEMA is supposed to get a social development fund, if it's delayed, we join them, we push in, we go to the Ministry of Finance, we go talk to the Minister of Internal Affairs, we all move into the Ministry to get a social or county development fund. Okay. So those are basic things the council will form to make sure that they mitigate problems that arise for any of the counties. For example, if there's a land dispute between Riverside and Sano, the council will move in to see how best we call elders and other people to intervene. If not, then we'll call the Minister of Internal Affairs, and the Minister of Internal Affairs will call the traditional council, then they can mitigate and solve that problem.
We have as our guest Superintendent Janjay
Baikeh.
Yeah.
It's a traditional name. Yeah.
And he's our guest this morning. He's the head of the Superintendent Council of the Republic of Liberia and Superintendent of Grand-Bassa County. And we are talking on issues from Grand-Bassa County to national government. And let me just read a few of your comments coming in. This is, this person is Tafina. She's Tafina Freeman. She's watching. Kemo, that's Jimo. See, I'm following from Magibi County. Benedict C. War, following my leader from my home on Thrush Creek Singer. Ezekiel Labla, I'm watching you from my office in Buchanan City. Terrence Reeves, I have never doubted your ability to succeed in Grand-Bassa County. Honorable Baikeh, keep on the good work, brother. History will keep you in mind of the people and the people of Grand-Bassa County. Honorable Madi Toli is a leader. And this person, Kudu, I'm watching you from Pinsville, GSA Road Junction, one of Grand-Bassa County best superintendent. But always just to praise you, so I will not go too far with those comments.
Yeah, no problem.
And you can also put in your calls if you want to join this conversation. The number will be posted right on your screen, like you're seeing it there. You can call us and making your point if you think it's necessary, and you'll be live on the show here this morning with the superintendent of Grand-Bassa County. Now, the president or this administration have completed the first 3 years. What's your observation?
Well,
I know you will give a lot of praises because you are part of it, but I want you to be very patriotic and very blunt to some of the lapses, because you will be asked to point out some of the government lapses.
Well, the fact that the fact that I'm in the government, I see much than you also are government. Okay. One thing I can tell you is, with the economic situation that the president entered this government with, ranging from coming from Ebola, where the former president announced that a few years from now, in fact, this economic situation was predated by former President Seti. This is not a making of President George Weah. It's not a making of us that are working along with him. These are situations that before us, before we took power. So based upon that, with all the economic situation, the government is still carrying on computing priorities. First of a kind in the history of Liberia, for a government to say, look, I'm going to harmonize all my employees' salary. For example, you look at your salary that's supposed to be maybe around $4,500 after tax. The government hammer Nazi and bring it down to 1,600. It takes a president with a political will to do that. These are successes of the government. Okay. You understand? Look at the computing rules. Until the opposition can tell me say they don't see it. Since 30 years or 30 some more years ago, we have not seen street lights. But I said, try our best with the street light. You can pick up the call.
Let's go to the line, take this first person. Good morning.
Good morning.
Thanks for joining us. What's your name and where you call from?
Let me say good morning to the KMTV family. Good morning to the Assistant Superintendent in office. My name is George and to the Secretary General of the Superintendent Council Committee.
Okay.
I'm from Informative County.
All right.
Let me say thank you to the Superintendent for his fast after exposures of projects in the county and ongoing activity of developmental activity in the county.
Okay.
Let me say to you, Grandpa's County have been one county that have been Moria County in all of Liberia's happenings.
Okay.
When you talk about the port, we benefited the port from Maserati County, was the second county to have the port. We benefited the first post-war road from the Labrador Trust Fund, that is the Buchanan Moravia Highway, the miles that were constructed by the former president. So today there are a lot of things happening in the county under a young man leadership. The Great Basin County will not regret having the superintendent, the youngest superintendent as superintendent of their county, because this is a testimony of the young people.
Okay.
This is the platform where the young people can make their case after his superintendency. He might lead tomorrow. What will be a legacy? Maybe with my eyes. And we will decide, we will start to put out things that he do that will benefit the greater interest of the young people's society. Okay. So let me say thank you to the superintendent of the county and thank you for his leadership. Just but there are some things that he has not said. The issue concerning wire fees, leadership, talking to the president, all the issues concerning wire fee across the country. Program Bassas benefited also for the past 3 years under the president we are regime. Okay. And there are many other things that the county have benefited under this president regime that will continue to benefit. Thank you all also.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
So like I was saying, you got to call. Like I was saying, you know, so if you talk about the sources of the government, there are many. Somebody just called, alluded to it. First of a kind, for a government to come to power, say we pay all students work fees, high school students. You understand? First of a kind, for a government to come to power, say, look, I will make sure that the feeder roads they found to Market Road be accessible. Now you can take from Ganta now to go to Sacre is ongoing. You can take from in fact, from Sacre all the way to Grand G there. River G, the Fish Tank Highway. You understand? The Fish Tank to Harper Highway. You can see all those things happening in just 3 years' time. I'm not going to shower president, though, but these are things I see. In developmental activity, you see and feel development. You understand? Come in Maserati County. Maybe you want to tell me that the opposition, they don't see this road, they don't ride on this road. You want to tell me that opposition don't live around rehab? You want to tell me that opposition don't live around Soul Clinic? You want to tell me that opposition don't live on the AB Tower Road? You want to tell me that the opposition don't see this thing? So for me, they may say I'm singing praises, but I'm singing praises to what I see with my eyes. I'm singing praises to the street light I met in Monrovia. Do you think I don't need some? Bassa needs some as well. That's the reason why when I met the minister today, he said, Janjay, Grand Bassa County will bring grant for the letting off of Bassa. In fact, we have one of the biggest substations on the West Africa power pool in Liberia, the biggest substation. It's in Bassa. I think the president will go and dedicate that to the public. We soon have electricity. I want to encourage my Bassa citizens that reside in Moro and other parts of the world. Go and invest in your country because it will come a time you will become a stranger. You will become a stranger in paradise. I don't want you to become a stranger because many good things are about to happen and they are already started to happen in Bassa. Let us forget about the mini contradiction. Look, I told them on the radio, local radio in Bassa, for those Liberty Party guys that want to protest, I told them, so your protest will not yield result. Because the fact that the president appointed me and I'm working in the accordance with my caucus and things are happening for the country, these are not ventures that you're going to venture in. What I want you to do is to come together, welcome the president. Tell the president, look, Mr. President, thank you for what you've done for Bassa, and we ask you to do more for Bassa. Look at the challenges we have. The GBCC bridge, almost 2 years now. So the collapse of that bridge.
What do you think is not working in this government?
Well, the fact that they are computing priorities. They are computing priorities. Some Bassa citizens will say, saying we yearning for our GBCC bridge. The president have not done it because they are computing priorities. In fact, there were money placed in that budget to do that bridge. But when COVID came in, when they did the recast budget, they were computing priorities for COVID-19. Other countries across the country were fighting COVID, doing other things. National government support as well, and even international partner support. So what I can say to you is there are a lot of things that are working, and the government have done even A+ in 3 years' time that you can point to. So to tell me where is there were some system issues that the government had worked on. Okay. For example, they went across the country, they had to do the personnel hair count, personnel audit, to making sure that they take ghost need from off payroll, meaning or the agriculture or maybe health sector or educational sector, to making sure that teachers that are not able to go to work, they were still taking pay, to making sure that, in fact, just in my county, there was a lady, that were called double dipping, and the judge penalized them for those things. So the government is uprooting things so that the people can benefit. So, for example, after the salary cut, which is the harmonization, today you see many roles, you see many street lights are coming in. You see many people coming in. So we fought what Liberians need to do. You may not like Joe as a president today because probably you're in the opposition. You must work within 2023. You can see whether you can win, but I don't know whether you will win though. Because Bassa will petition you as well.
Do you see from the just ended December 8th election, where majority of the CDC candidates was not successful? Do you see the CDC still, having that momentum like 2005, 2017? Do you see the momentum still the same as we go towards 2023 election?
Momo, Liberia is not Monserrato. And since I've been following the Liberian politics since 1985.
But it was not
I come in. I just want to give an analogy of Monserrato County first. Okay. Then I move to the other counties. Since 1985, when I started to read the Liberian political history, after our democratic process, after the 12 years, the 27 years of one-party system, or even more than 100 years of one-party system, there have been no ruling party that won Monserrato County, besides the CDC. After the 2017 election, CDC won Monserrato on Rosa Joseph. In 1985, our opposition that predominantly won Monserrato County for the ruling party. You have seen that consistently. CDC enjoyed that from 2005 to 2017. We enjoyed that as an opposition. Because here is where most of the people believe that man is supposed to fall down from heaven and is not falling down from heaven. So they feel disenchanted with government. That's how you see the working Monserrato. Now, if you want to do a competitive analysis on how many seats the opposition or probably the CPP won, then you still give the ruling party a space. For example, okay, you went to the place, you won 5 seats. The ruling party won 5 seats. So what's the difference?
That's an example, right?
Yeah, just say something. What's the difference? You won 5 seats. The ruling party won 4 or 5 seats. So what the edge you have? What's the edge you have?
The edge is 1.
No, you won 5, we won 5. In fact, it may be 6. Because the independent candidate that won in Grand Crew County is a crewman, we always support a crew better. You will join yes. You understand? So what I can say to you is, you cannot boast of having the popularity when you cannot even win more than 7 seats as an opposition. Okay. You stay trading to win seats. You understand? So what I can say to you, yes, they fought their part, like how we fought our part.
You think this just in the election put the president feet to the fire?
It did not. The president has always been a man to deliver. What it does is that it tells the president to move in a county, to sit with the people and say, look, where are the situations? And the president has started that already. So based upon that, I think we're making significant progress. For example, to see a president, same foundation of this country to go way to Bui and Dora, where no president has been before.
Do you think his tour was timely?
It was timely. It was very timely.
Why didn't he do that?
Because he was trying to set the economic trajectory for the country. When you focus on your agenda, like what the president did, you have economic situation where it came a time with the situation in the country, civil service was not taking place. Look at what's happening now. So he has set the economic agenda of the country now. You can go anywhere and sleep and will take pay on time. Okay. You understand? The economic situation will improve. And stay improving. You can see what came from the IMF, what came from World Bank, what came from the statistics that are coming out now. Liberia is getting the green. I may not be a student of economy, but I follow most of the international outlet about Liberia. Sure. So the president couldn't have done a thank you or county tour where the economic agenda of the country had not been set. He was fighting to balance the economic agenda of the country. So he was doing everything possible. Say, look, I don't want to go to the southeast and there's an outbreak of a situation that need my intervention. Okay. So now you see the president went to the southeast. He was in the southeast when civil servants started receiving text messages that pay have reached their account. So his delay was just to set the economic agenda of the country to make sure that we get back on path. Then after Ebola, we have the shaky and rocky economic situation. So that was just a situation that the president was looking at.
Do you see the 2023 election as a very tense election for the CDC?
I can tell you today, President George will get second term. Go to bed and sleep.
Will it be done by what means?
Oh, the same way he won the election. Have you ever heard about a president like George Weah getting the fraudulent election? No. He's a man of peace and he believed in the will of the people. So I can tell you today for free. Whatever I'm saying here to you, put me on record. I'm already on record in the public glare. On social media. President George Weah will have an overwhelming victory from the people. Because look,
I don't want you to be like your chairman, Moba Molu, that said if Thomas Falla, Honorable Thomas Falla, is not elected as senator of Montserrat County, he will resign. And as we stand, he's not.
Listen to me. There are political statements that people make. I'm making a statement not political, but realistically speaking. Look across the country. How many counties are not benefited in 3 years' time for development? How many counties?
Let's go back to your county. I heard you giving list of counties and districts. Districts that have benefited under your administration.
Under our administration, not just my one.
All right, under your administration,
yeah,
right?
Yeah.
And I didn't listen to you talking about District 1. Well, Honorable
Baju, but maybe you didn't follow.
How's your relationship with him?
No, we're cool. We're very good.
There are clues that you and he have some little
No. That's not true. Okay. If you call him right now on your show, you will tell me, one of the best superintendents you ever worked with. Okay. Trust me. We got 3 projects in your district. I talk about the Jacob at that time, it's in your district. I talk about the Orange Grove, it's in your district. I talk about the compound one, it's in your district. 3 major projects that will be implemented even before the rainy season comes. So, out of my lawmaker, we got a cool working relationship. Okay. There are some disagreements, but those disagreements cannot make us to be divided to making decisions for our people. I call on Robachu anytime of the night, you will answer me. I call on Rowede anytime of the night, you will answer me. I call Senator Lauren anytime if she busy, she will send me a text, I'm busy, she will answer me. I call Senator Kape anytime of the night, he will answer me. Even my local leadership that I work with, you think everything is rosy? No, there will be some time, there will be disenchantment, there will be disagreement. But those disagreement in Grand Bassa County cannot make us to drink from the cup of bitterness.
You are a very young man, very vibrant, and you are into politics. There are clues that you'll be contesting in 2023.
I contested before 2017, and I lost the election to Honorable Miracle. She was just calling me not too long. I lost to her, and she won the election. I congratulated her. Right now, my concentration is to keep all the tasks that the president have given me. There are several times she has told people on international and national, in fact, local media, that she will support me to succeed because she see my hand work. Okay. If that's happened, fine. I may contest again, but my focus now is to do the work of the Basel people, to make sure that I touch every district and every nook and corner of Basel with developmental activity.
Probably your fear could be if the president is not successful, you will not be in Grand Bassa County.
Why you say so? The president is successful. The president is being successful. He's working, he's touching every place. There are places in Basel that have been no development today. We can development them. There. In the number 2B that I'm telling you about. Even places that Jacob at that time, where people can get in or Kino to cross the river to go there. Okay. Today we're doing a project, a concrete project that will bring relief to the people to feel part of the pro agenda. So I'm never in doubt of President. We are successes. So my run in 2023, yes, it will happen, but I'm concentrating right now on the work of the Basel people, making sure that we reconcile our political differences, making sure that we work together, join hands with other leaders of the country, other of our senators and our representatives, and even eminent sons and daughters of Basel. Sometimes you see me working with former Superintendent Pinky Donkey. You see me working with some former Superintendent Widow Cooper. One of us, we said, in fact, the last academy before this, I appointed former Superintendent G.Bassa as a mobilization committee chair for the steering committee. So these are things that we do. Our political disagreement cannot make us to drink from the cup of bitterness. So I want to urge people who believe that, Superintendent Baikeh, you are a young man. It's rather you work along with me for the benefit of our people than to keep fighting what you cannot bring down. Because what God destined is what he destined. So nothing else can change it. Besides, he God that destined that to fall or to continue to rise. So we'll keep rising above.
Honorable Soup, thank you so much for passing through. Finally.
Thank you for the opportunity given me. You've been calling me for this interview. At least thank you for my daily appearance on KMTV. Yeah. I normally sometimes in passage interact with them, but I think at least the invite was very good, and I appreciate you and I appreciate everyone.
He's Honorable Janjay Baikeh, the Honorable Superintendent of G.Bassa County and head of the Superintendent Council of the Republic of Liberia. You listen to him, very strong. He's sweating on this morning.
Yes.
We called him from his bed this morning. He have to drive from Buchanan City, just imagine, to be in Monrovia so that we can have this talk. It was so interesting this morning. We will not be here on tomorrow, taking into consideration tomorrow is Decoration Day, and we have to go give some respect to some of our relatives who are late, so we will not be on the show tomorrow. But trust in God and trust in the KMTV family that Thursday we'll be back here with another presentation, another fascinating presentation of the KMTV Morning Show. Until that time, I want to say thanks so much for following us always, and also share this live. You can also visit our YouTube channel. KMTV Liberia is on Facebook. You can also go and like the page so that you get all of our notifications when we are live and form part of the best online KMTV family in Liberia. My name is Amos Thomas Momo, and bidding you the best rest of the Tuesday from Liberia. Bye-bye.